Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD Starcraft and I'm back for another Heart of the Swarm broadcast. And today I'm going to be starting a new set of replays that I'll be doing. This is going to be from the DreamHack Valencia Open Tournament that just concluded a few days ago. And I'll be casting, of course, once again, the select replays from this tournament, as well as any highlight replays that you guys recommend to me at my email at hdreplays@gmail.com. And I'm actually going to be doing the highlights once again, as you guys all know, from the next, basically, tournament in the circuit of DreamHack Open. We had Stockholm, we had, shoot, I already forgot some of the other ones, but I know we had Stockholm, and now we have Valencia. So this is going to be pretty awesome, and once again, it seems like we always have the same players coming out to play in this tournament. The best of the best remain at the top, and here we have Quantic Hyun. He is the red Zerg player in the top left-hand corner of the map, Belshir Vestige, and his opponent is going to be Lucifron, who is the blue Terran in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. I'm only going to be casting one game from this set, and I'm told this is the one to watch. For those of you guys who haven't seen it, the first game did go to Hyun, and he won that in about an 8-minute game, so very quickly. But I will be casting, once again, the highlight replays from this tournament, so let your friends know HD is casting the best of the best replays for you guys from the top players around the world. And very excited here to see how this game goes down. By the way, guys, I don't know how you guys feel about Dota 2, but I love Dota 2. I've been thinking about making a couple of Dota 2 videos when I get the chance to, and let me know what you guys think about that. I actually love Hammerstorm or Sven, depending on if you guys played Heroes of New Earth or not. He is like my favorite hero of all time, so I have a couple of pretty sick replays I thought I'd do for you guys. And might even get into some professional casting of Dota as well, because I'm just a huge Dota fan. Played it like for 6 years, ever since college. So I'm a big Dota guy, and yeah, let me know what you guys think. Anyways, Lucifron here, throwing up a supply depot at the front door, has a barracks as well, making a Reaper. This is from the quarterfinals of DreamHack, guys. So this is very high up in the tournament. No, you know, group stage, no like qualifiers or anything like that. This is getting down to the money. And as usual, we have the same players that have always been showing up time after time here in DreamHack. Lucifron obviously really upping his game, coming into the final rounds a couple of times now, actually, as is his brother Vortex. But I do feel like Lucifron has really upped his game as of late, and we'll see here if Hyun can take him out. I definitely think Hyun is, if not one of the best Zergs in the world right now. So very, very tough match here for the blue Terran Lucifron. We'll see what happens as Lucifron brings his Reaper up into the main base of the Zerg player, but there really isn't anything to see at this moment in time, just a gas for Hyun, which is always something that Terran players have to be a little cautious about. You want to make sure that you get a bunker up when you see that gas, and try to get some fortifications down at your wall just to be safe rather than sorry. And right now, Lucifron is taking this Reaper, trying to do some work on the hatchery. The Overlord has come out. Overlords cannot be hit by pistols, of course, because pistols cannot angle themselves upwards. But these Zerglings do not have the same ability to get away from the Reaper as the Overlord does. And the Reaper, with its quickness and its ability to regenerate out of combat, is going to continue to be a nuisance in the side of Hyun here. And Hyun's lost a Zergling that was trying to get a scout into the front door. Now has to pull that Zergling over to the right-hand side. Has another Overlord coming in. Might want to be a little careful about this guy right here, because all it takes is for Lucifron to bring a Marine over, and that Overlord will die. And in the meantime, it looks like the scouting Zergling has been killed off as well. But, you know, Hyun's got 2 Overlords floating in here, so he knows pretty much what's going on. And he is going to see that macro CC, which is such a big scout for Zerg. If you see the macro CC coming up almost instantaneously, you have 2 options. You can try to punish the Terran, and it looks like Hyun is going to go for the punish. He's making a lot of roaches right now, and I'm actually kind of surprised that Lucifron decided to go for this macro CC once he scouted the gas for Hyun. Maybe he already had it coming. I don't think so, though. This is very risky. Honestly, he's got to get bunkers up right now, and he's trying to get one right now. He's trying to get a supply depot in the front of it as well. He's going to really need to fortify his wall, because there's a lot of roaches and Zerglings coming in. Hyun does not want to deal with a macro CC Lucifron, and this is actually Lucifron's playstyle. He loves to go for the macro command center. He prefers to play towards the late game. You rarely ever see him do, you know, from what I've seen of games I've casted, you rarely ever seen him do anything crazy in the early game. He's very much a macro set and go kind of Terran, and right now he's gonna have to really fortify his defenses. He's got a Marauder inside that bunker, which is going to help quite a bit against these roaches, but here they come. Hyun has a lot of roaches and zerglings here. He's gonna actually go around the bunker wall and is gonna go into the mineral line instead, preventing mining. He's got to be careful though. There's a lot of SCVs there. If his roaches get surrounded, they could be in some trouble. He is going to try to keep them out of harm's way by pulling them away to the left. Has more roaches coming in as well. Hasn't lost much yet, and a really good attack so far from Hyun. And this is exactly, you know, what makes Hyun so dangerous is he knows when there's weakness. He knows, he sniffs it out and he goes for it. But Lucifron, I think, is going to be able to hold this off. He's got Widow Mines underground now, and even though Widow Mines aren't that effective against roaches, they're still a deterrent, and Hyun is going to have to be very careful. He doesn't want to let those mines hit his roach pack, and here they go. Oh, painful right there. Although the mine also contributing to the death of the bunker, if you will. And now these roaches, I think, with the weakness, with the damage they've taken, are going to have to pull out. They have killed off quite a few units for the Terran player though, and in terms of SCVs, he's actually killed off a lot, and it's unfortunate because in the DreamHack overlay I cannot show you guys how many SCVs have gone down, but just look at the income tab and you can see that Lucifron has lost a majority. The only thing is, because he's got a macro command center, he can really easily rebuild his SCVs, and it's not a huge, terribly bad deal. And if anything, Hyun's got to be a little worried because he might have the drone lead right now, but it will not last for long if he doesn't saturate that third base, if he doesn't think about getting a fourth pretty soon. And it looks like Hyun now is going to transition into playing a standard game, hoping that he's done enough damage to the Terran player Lucifron. And when I look at the units lost tab, I'm not entirely sure, because he's actually lost more than his opponent has. And here comes some Hellions for Lucifron as well. Man, he is playing a very crisp game. And if you guys recall Lucifron's games from the last DreamHack tournament I casted, you know, he did really well. I think he got into the quarterfinals again and just got stopped short, just barely. I believe it was by, I think it was Jaedong, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, he's definitely you know, defined his game that much better. He's doing a really good job here against Hyun, who, like I said before, many consider to be one of the world's top Zergs right now, along with Jaedong, I suppose. So yeah, and Life. So yeah, this is a very, very good game so far between these two players. We do have Lucifron preparing to get another command center over here. He's gonna, of course, bring the one that he built earlier on inside his base, and it's now floating over to go ahead and saturate that area. Now, interestingly, Lucifron is not, I mean, he's got a lot of Marauders. This is a little not, you know, this isn't standard. Usually in Terran versus Zerg, you might see early Marauders to deal with the Roach attack that, you know, Hyun had, but now, you know, he's still got a lot of Marauders. He needs to transition. Yeah, there you go. Combat shields, +1/+1. He needs to get, you know, a more well-rounded army. And there's a couple of ways to approach this in Terran versus Zerg. You could go Marine, Widow Mines, Marauders. You could go Marine tank as the old days, but I definitely feel like nowadays Widow Mines have just become so strong, along with Medivacs. Obviously, you want Medivacs to heal and support your bio. You know, Widow Mines are just so good, even though they don't, obviously they do extra damage versus Protoss, but they're still so good against Zerg because Zerg units swarm, they clump up, they take huge amounts of damage from mines. Like Zerglings and Banelings, they're not so great against Widow Mines. So yeah, that's one thing that Lucifron can definitely use to his advantage, and I love how he set up this kind of wall here. He's got basically all of his bases are covered up by supply depots and walls, but is it going to be enough to deal with Banelings? It looks like Hyun here is preparing to go for a massive Baneling bust here. He's got a ton of Banelings coming out, 32 Banelings on the way. He's got 32 Banelings, and he is going to just be able to steamroll through this supply depot and the bunker, and I don't know if Lucifron's got enough mines here to defend against this. He needs to bring his mines over right now. The Banelings actually don't have Baneling speed yet, but speed is going to finish now, and that is a huge upgrade. Great timing by Hyun, and Hyun is just gonna roll on in here, and I don't know what in the world Lucifron's gonna be able to do about this. He's gonna lose a lot of SCVs. Oh my god! carnage here under the 3rd expansion. And Lucifron loses, I don't know, maybe a third of his SCVs right there. A painful loss for Lucifron, and it's just unfortunate for him because he just didn't see it coming, didn't have any scouting units around here. And the thing is, the playstyle Lucifron is using right now, he's not being very aggressive. He's not using medevacs to drop the Zerg at all, and because of that, he doesn't really know what's going on. He can't put the Zerg on the back foot, and so Hyun is just kind of toying with them right now, going for that Baneling buzz and destroying all of these SCVs. So very painful there for Lucifron, and I feel like, you know, this is, maybe it's just his play style. He doesn't want to drop. Maybe he wants to build up a big army and then move out. But in nowadays, you know, you gotta be able to multitask. You gotta be able to do different things at once. And I really feel like this drop here needs to be done. He needs to get some damage in, but he's also got to defend against Hyun's Banelings once again. And he needs to bring his Widow Mines over here. He's got a ton of mines covering the natural, but not very many covering the 3rd. Another expansion coming up over here at the 9 o'clock. Meanwhile, the drop has succeeded, and Lucifron has gotten into the main base. He's going to go straight for the lair here. Look at the minimap. All these Zerglings and Banelings are flooding back home, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I believe the hatchery is not going to go down. The lair is not going to go down, excuse me, thanks to a couple of last-second transfuses from the Zerg Queens. And now Lucifron is going to go ahead and drop at this hatchery. Will he be able to take it down? I don't think so. Too many Zerglings are here. Current upgrades at 1-1 apiece for both sides, with 2-2 on the way for both as well. The Terran just about to finish 2-2 moments before the Zerg will. And it looks like we once again have another pair of medevacs going to the right-hand side, although it will bypass the path of that Overlord. And if Lucifron sees it, excuse me, if Hyun sees it, he might be able to defend against it. He's actually burrowed a Zergling here, which indicates to me that he does see that pair of medevacs coming in, and we'll see if he gets some defenses up. It looks like he's building a couple of spines and spores, which is, of course, a very good idea. Meanwhile, these medevacs are still trying to drop over at this expansion. Don't forget, a spire was completed, I believe, for Hyun, so he can definitely make some Mutalisks right now if he wants to, although look at all these Zerglings coming in here. Lucifron trying to go on the ground instead of dropping, but he runs into the swarm, and he needs to pick up and get those Marines to safety. Meanwhile, where is that spire? There it is. There's a spire over there for Hyun. He can certainly start to produce a lot of mutas, and in fact we have 9 Mutalisks on the way here for Hyun. This game is getting pretty damn good, guys, as Hyun is going to come around into the middle of the map trying to get rid of these Marines and Marauders, and the medevacs pick them up immediately and pull them out of harm's way. In the meantime, I'm still not sure what happened to the 2 medevacs over here on the left-hand side. Supposedly they did go down. And even if they didn't, well, Mutalisks are now in the skies, so it's going to be pretty hard for the Terran player to get any drops in on Hyun. And look at this, Hyun sending in the secret covert ops, the scouting in the department to find out what is going on the Terran side of things. And we'll see what happens. I don't think those changelings will get much done because Lucifron, look at his army. Oh my god. Widow Mines, Marines everywhere, but there's quite a few Marines here that just went right past the Terran army, so that's good for Hyun. He's going to be able to get a scout into the main base if he needs it, and in the meantime, a major battle is raging right here in the middle of the map. A ton of mines are underground though, and oh, I love how Hyun sends in a small squad of Banelings and Zerglings to detonate most of the mines. Now that most of the mines are gone, he can go in with his Zerg army, and it doesn't look like Lucifron's got enough area of effect damage to deal with this. No siege tanks, no Widow Mines left. This is going to be very hard for him to hold off. One more mine getting underground. It was picked off though, as there is an Overseer above this army. Banelings detonating all over the ground. Changelings trying to block units from coming in to reinforce, and here comes the Mutas and Banelings once again, gonna take out more SCVs in the bottom left-hand corner. And wow, Lucifron is getting worked right now, but he is going to get a drop into the main base. That drop will be able to take out the lair, but that's just a small price. I mean, that's a small thing to take home when you're losing your main base, your natural expansion. Everything is going down right now. And honestly, I think this might be GG. Barring a miracle, really. More Zerglings are flooding in on the ground, taking out the supply depot walls, although the lair has gone down here. And Lucifron has a medevac above this army. He could certainly do quite a bit of damage. It looks like, in the meantime, reinforcements are coming out of the barracks. Look at everything producing 2 by 2 here, and it's just enough reinforcements to push the Zerg army back. On top of the fact that Hyun's got to deal with Lucifron's drop here, Hyun is going to pull everything back, and that might just be the breath of life, just a moment for him to, you know, the hesitation by Hyun might just be enough for him to claw back into this game, but damn, has he taken a lot of damage. In fact, both players have lost about 15k in resources apiece. Income right now, 24 SCVs to 53 drones. Of course, meals do help a little bit in that regard. In terms of overall resources right now, we can see that the Zerg has a slightly larger bank than the Terran does. But yeah, I do like what Lucifron has done, and he's, you know, trying to buy himself a little bit more time right now. One thing that's also going great for him is he's got 3-3 upgrades compared to the Zerg army, which is stuck at 2-2, especially since the layer just gotten down, so just went down, so there is no hive in order to unlock 3-3. And so Lucifron here, if he can hold off and get another expansion down in mining, unfortunately there's a burrowed Zergling there blocking the command center. If he can just get another expansion going, get some SCVs to start mining, he's not out of the game yet. He is on the back foot, I feel like, but he's not out of it. We'll see what happens. 40 Zerglings are on the way, though, and so Hyun is making use of that 1,000 minerals that he had banked up, and so quite a few Zerglings going to be coming, along with quite a few Banelings. And this is going to be tough for Lucifron to hold off. You guys can see he's planting a grid of mines here. This is a danger minefield zone. You'd have to put a sign down to show that how dangerous this area is. And what the hell is going on here? Lucifron just killed off his own missile turret. That had to be a mistake. And of course, the mine detonating on the changeling before it could change. But yeah, this is kind of, Lucifron's kind of stuck in this spot where he's got to defend against Hyun. And he's just gonna have to cross his fingers and hope that he's got enough mines, he's got enough marines, and enough control of his units in order to deal with this attack. And here comes Hyun. Don't forget, he won game 1. If he wins this game, it's all over. He is going to advance onto the semifinals. He's going in with the Banelings and the Mutalisks. Oh, gonna crash through some SCVs. There are mines here, though, that he's got to be careful of. He doesn't have an Overseer. He is trying to bring some Zerglings around the right-hand side, and it looks like Lucifron just barely, by the skin of his teeth, holds off once again. Oh my god, this game is just making me so excited. This is an insane game of Zerg versus Terran, extremely high level. Here comes the Mutas and Banelings once again, though, and this time, oh, Lucifron's gonna lose the mules, the fresh meals that came down. That's about 1,000 minerals that is just not gonna be seen here for a while. And Lucifron now trying to evacuate his marines behind the minefield. And he's doing a really good job of just hanging in there and staying alive. How many Widow Mines does he have? He's got 10 Widow Mines. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, all it takes is one mistake from Hyun. One mistake and he loses everything. And don't forget, he cannot produce additional Overseers because he doesn't have a lair. So he has no way to detect these invisible, these underground menaces. And that's a big problem here for Hyun, of course. Don't forget, these mines have drilling claws, which makes them able to get underground and hide that much quicker. Are there any spore callers? There's one detector back here in the back left of the base. Here comes these Mutas once again. They have to be super careful, though, as they fly over the minefields. And a lot of mines are here. It looks like, oh, that Muto mine detonating, killing off Marines and Zerglings alike, and these Marines have got to get out of there. Oh no, getting picked up, and one medevac getting taken out almost instantly. And where are the mines for Lucifron? He actually just got completely overwhelmed there, and it looks like most of his mines just he couldn't get them underground in time or whatever. But Lucifron has to call GGWP, and Hyun is the victor. What an insane game right there of StarCraft 2. That was a really close one. 5 minutes long, and wow, that was awesome. So that was the first game that I'll be doing from DreamHack Valencia, which just concluded a few days ago. And I'll be doing, of course, the highlight replays. I hope you guys enjoyed. More games to come, and this is HD signing out.